Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 1995 BMW M3. Up front is a 3.0 liter inline 6, and down below is a 5-speed manual transmission. Now I am super excited to be driving this E36 M3 for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's been a while since I've driven one. I actually drove a convertible in automatic, which, isn't the best. So today I'm driving a coupe in manual, which is the way that God intended this vehicle to be. But if you would like to share your godly vehicle with me, you can head on over to my website, zackprato.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form, takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. But let's get back to that 3-liter inline 6 under the hood. Engines can sometimes be a touchy subject when it comes to this generation of M3, mostly just between the American and European market. US and Europe actually got different engines. Ours made less power, unfortunately. However, I still enjoy this 3-liter very, very much. The reason it's a touchy subject is also at the end of 1995, for the 1996 model year, they facelifted the vehicle, gave it a 3.2 liter, and gave it a 6-speed manual as opposed to the 5-speed. So this is the last year of the 3-liter. Does it suck? Not a bit. It is still an absolute pleasure and joy to drive. That is what I love about this car. The inline 6 doesn't feel like it has a ceiling. It has no cap on it. It can just keep going if you want it to, or if you have the cojones to. Now, of course, the red line does sit right at about 6,500. It's where it starts. You get a hard red line at 7, but it is a very, very joyful experience getting up to that red line. Like I said, paired to a 5-speed manual. However, the next year got a 6-speed, and the remainder of the E36 M3s got the 6-speed. I don't really have an issue with this. I think it's actually shifting fine, and I quite enjoy it. And this is actually back when I used to really enjoy the shifters in BMWs. Modern BMWs, the shifters just aren't 100% there, but this, they certainly are. Last but not least, of course, the M3 is rear-wheel drive. So how does it feel to actually drive the M3? Well, like I said, with the engine, it just wants to go, and there's just such a simplistic feeling about this car specifically. It doesn't feel like technology is weighing it down or playing a big role in the driving experience. It feels very analog, and that's something that's missing from modern BMWs. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have 4 gauges. Off to the left is my fuel. Then I have my speedometer and tachometer with a little MPG gauge, very characteristic of BMW. And then off to the right, I have my coolant temperature. I love these gauges. I love how simple and direct that they are. And I think a lot of current OEMs could take notes from how this is laid out. On the steering wheel, I don't get anything. Nothing. And off to the left, I do have a climate control vent, headlight switch, and my fog light switch, although this doesn't have fog lights because the front bumper was actually swapped out. Moving on to the door, I have 2 speakers as well as my mirror adjustments, and that's it. No window switches on the door. Moving into the center, we get one of the largest climate control vents in the automotive game, and anytime I see any POV drive or drifting video, I can tell immediately that it's an E36 because of that vent. Then of course we do have an aftermarket radio because radios in the 90s don't really keep up with modern tech. And then we have the climate controls. Interestingly enough, it does get dual zone, which is kind of interesting. Fan speed off to the left, temperature in the center, where to send it off to the right. Then I do get a little information center. So I can look up my temperature, code, limit, speed, distance, timer, all of these great little buttons. I love this. This is very, very 90s. And they did this in the E30 as well. So I love this little info gauge. Kind of unnecessary, but also kind of cool. Then I do have a little cubby, 12-volt outlet, and the shifter. The shifter looks fantastic, and I do like the throw of it. It's not the best shifter I've ever felt in the whole wide world, but it is pretty good and pretty direct, and the simplistic look of it is just fantastic. To the left and right of that, that's where we'll actually find our window switches. And then we have a giant hazard button down below. Moving on to the rest of the center console, we have the handbrake off to left. Then we have some coin holders and the cup holder. So we will do a big friggin' bottle test here in the E36 M3. And unfortunately it fails. Nothing older than 1995 has ever passed. So par for the course. Then we do have a little center console and the seats. The seats are decently comfortable. They do have high bolsters, but not nearly as high as I would think. They're not terribly or overly sporty, if that makes sense, and being a bigger guy, I actually fit in them pretty comfortably. However, speaking of seats, we do have back seats, so let's go do a back seat review. All right, I'm in the back of the 95 BMW M3. If the seat is up where it normally is, I can still have the privilege of legs, but it's not looking good. It's not amazing. This headliner is sagging, by the way. It's a 90s car. Most of them do that at this point in time, unless they've been repaired or replaced. I don't get any center console. I do get a little ashtray down here. But other than that, very, very simple, basic back seats. Nothing really to write home about. Let's hop out. We'll take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. All right, around the back of the M3, I love this giant bubble button that they give you. So very 90s. Ugh. Once we're back here, nothing really crazy to write home about. However, we do have a BMW 6-disc changer back here. And a quick little story my friend used to have, I believe it was a 318 or maybe 325. Shout out to Felix. And he used to have this CD player in the back, and we had a Biggie Smalls CD in there. And every bump that we would hit, it would skip in the song. So if we hit a pothole, the song would skip because the CD player was in the trunk. Kind of always thought that that was a funny position for it. Once we are back here, though, we do have this beautiful BMW M3 coupe sort of brochure. I'm sure you BMW people love these. Ooh, Dakar yellow, techno violet, all that stuff. So really, really love that. But overall, nothing really to write home about with the trunk of the M3. Just kidding. I did forget that there is a toolkit. Let's see how many tools are left in this 248,000 mile M3. Wow, pretty much all of it. Really impressive. Look at that. So they used to come with this. Now it just has a sticker that has the roadside assistance phone number on it, which is a little annoying. Now we got to talk about the looks, and this blue, I will put it up on the screen, the name of it, I'm forgetting at the current moment. It's a fantastic blue. I really, really love it. And I just like seeing M3s in fun colors, whether that be this color or Dakar yellow, or that dark violet purple that they have. And also, I was talking with the owners, and I have to say, this thing has aged really, really well. It looks fantastic still to this day. It doesn't look overly dated. Obviously, it's sort of boxy, which isn't really the look of current cars, but it's very identifiable as an M3, and I love it for that. But now, with all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving a more proper BMW M3 E36? Well, it's great. I don't think I've ever called an M car not great. It's living up to the expectations, but there's something a little bit more special about the E36 in general, and that is its simplicity. It really genuinely feels like it's me, an engine, and a shifter moving through space and time. It doesn't feel like there's an engine computer and transmission computer and a computer for the differentials and cyborg this, AI that, none of that. It just feels like it was put together in a proper shed and given to me to have fun. It feels like a machine in the old sense of the word. There's gears and knobs and dials and grease. You know, I recently flew home from Los Angeles and I caught the red eye, 10 p.m. to 5:30 a.m. I feel like everyone who works independently should take that flight once. It's a very humbling experience. And on that flight, I was halfway tired, but also kept awake by the plane. I couldn't sleep on the plane. And so I started looking through the shows that the plane offered me to watch, and I couldn't settle on anything. I didn't want to get myself into a storyline, try to remember characters' names, try to keep up with the jokes, try to maybe calm my laughter. I didn't want to deal with all of that. So what I ended up doing was playing this little plane landing game. What you do is you swipe your finger on the plane and you tell it to land on which runway, and hope that they don't crash into each other. It's simple, It was fun and entertaining, and I did that for the 4-hour flight. That's how I feel about this M3. I don't want to learn all the buttons and dials, I just want to have fun. I just want to enjoy the driving experience. And that is what this car highlights. This doesn't care about your mortgage payment. This doesn't care about the test you have next Tuesday. This doesn't care about the neighborhood gossip. It cares about the road and giving you the best experience on it. And I can guarantee you that the E36 M3 gives you one of the best. Let me explain. Oh, so good! Oh boy, oh boy. Oh, yeah, that's about right. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Max and his father for letting me take out this M3. This is one of the vehicles in their collection. Oh, you might have to peel me out of this car. It's just so good. Huge thank you to them for making this video possible. I can't thank them enough. It was just such a great day today reviewing their cars, and I hope to do it again soon. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.